Hello everyone, Rogue Leader here, and in honor of the new Superman movie releasing last month, I thought it would be fun to go back and look at all the Superman Lego sets we have gotten, starting from the worst and leading up to what is, in my opinion, the best Superman set we have ever gotten. I've had this idea for a while but I decided to wait for the Lego sets that would be accompanying the new film. But apparently, a new Superman movie getting Lego sets is just wishful thinking in this day and age, or getting any type of DC set that doesn't feature a Batmobile from movies and shows that are decades old. But oh well. I guess we'll just have to look back at some old sets to remember what we have lost. Today we'll be looking at 16 LEGO DC sets made that feature Superman. These don't necessarily have to be Superman sets, they just have to include them. We will, however, be comparing the quality of the entire sets, figures, builds, pieces, etc., and not just the Superman minifigure. One last thing to note is there are two Superman Lego products that I am not including, those being the San Diego Comic-Con Black Suit Superman exclusive and the Superman minifigure from 2020's CMF series. I chose to exclude these because they are a lot different than all the other sets that are more regular, and it would be hard to rank them with these sets. So let's get started with the number 16 spot. At number 16, I have the LEGO Superman Dimensions add-on set. This set is really interesting because it was created with the sole purpose of being used with the LEGO Dimensions video game. If you don't know, in 2015, LEGO and the video game company TT Games teamed up to create one of the most interesting LEGO games ever, that being LEGO Dimensions. This was a story game that followed a team of characters from many universes, including DC and Lord of the Rings, teaming up to stop some random bad guy. When you bought the game, you also got a board where you could place various minifigures and builds to bring them into the game and play as them. In 2016, an add-on pack featuring Superman and a hover vehicle was released. This set is at the bottom because the fun you got out of it relied solely on the video game that you had to buy. Because of this reason, this $15 set was pretty weak. The build was boring, and the Superman minifigure was nothing special. I just could not justify putting this any higher. For number 15, I have the Man of Steel Superman Metropolis Showdown. Released in 2013, this $13 set was an easy way to pick up two of the main characters from the at the time new Superman movie. Unfortunately, because it's so small, it has nothing really special about it. This version of Superman came in a lot of other sets, and the Zod is a weaker version of other versions that appeared in the other sets. That plus an uninteresting build made me decide to put it towards the end. After that, we have another pretty small set, that being the $10 Superman vs. Bizarro Mighty Micro set from 2017. While I was never a fan of the Mighty Micro sets, I do think this one was kind of cool. Bizarro was only ever featured in this set and a Comic-Con minifigure exclusive, so that gave some people a reason to buy it, even if the designs are cartoony and oversimplified. Other than that, I really have nothing else to say. I mean, it's a Mighty Micro set. What'd you expect? This next one, I am surprised it made it up so far the list, considering I don't like these types of sets, but in the 13th spot, I have the LEGO Juniors Batman and Superman vs. Lex Luthor. Is the build weak? Yes. Are there sets that are lower on the list that might have better builds or value? Yes. But are the minifigures good? Surprisingly, the answer is also yes. You get the regular Superman and a cool comic suit Batman, as well as an exclusive armored up Lex Luthor. All in all, I think the minifigures are good, and the build isn't great, but I still think this is better than the sets previously mentioned. The number 12th spot contains yet another Man of Steel set, that being the Superman Black Zero Escape. To me, this set is both cool and lacking. The Man of Steel set does have an exclusive minifigure in the form of Lois Lane, and Zod is given his armor, two things that I criticized the last Man of Steel set for. The build is really weird to me. On the one hand, you have the escape pod, which I think is pretty cool, and a fun build representing a cool scene from the movie. On the other hand, you have the second build, which I don't even know what it's trying to be. The movie, the Black Zero, is the big world destroyer thing, and this obviously doesn't look anything like it. I really don't know what this is supposed to represent. You have a semi-interesting wall, a little cannon or turret type build, and then for whatever reason there's a ladder included. The set honestly reminds me of the Home 1 Star Wars set from the early 2010s. Both sets are named after the ship, but contain scenes from the interior and are not at all shaped like the ship. All in all, it's a fine but forgettable set, hence why I gave it the 12th spot. Just one spot higher though is the Batman vs Superman Clash of Heroes. Now, I have to say that we are at the point in the list where none of these sets are inherently bad, it's just at the end of the day, some gotta be lower than the others. This set is a really cool one, and I really wanted this one when the movie came out. It has a cool exclusive armored Batman, as well as a cheap way to get the new Superman minifigure, as well as a piece of kryptonite, which at the time hadn't been in very many sets. I think the build is pretty boring, other than that awesome bat signal featuring Ben Affleck's bat logo, and even though it was small for only $13, I thought it contained plenty to justify its purchase and its spot on the list. Breaking the top 10, we have the LEGO Batman Movie Justice League Anniversary set. Look, this set is cool and very accurate to what it represents in the movie, but that scene, while it is funny, just doesn't translate into LEGO form as well as other sets do. And I don't know why. After all, this set is the only one to be based off of an actual LEGO movie. That's not to say the set is bad, because it's not. I think it's a fun build representing a fun scene, but again, it's just there wasn't much to begin with in terms of having something to base it off of. I do like the DJ station and the anniversary banner, and those figures are amazing. I don't really care for the dog or El Dorado minifigures, as they're characters I don't really know anything about, but the comic book Green Arrow and Hawkgirl are killer, and the Superman minifigure is its usual great self. In the number 9 spot, I have the only set on the list you couldn't get in stores, that being the Action Comics #1 Superman Diorama. This was a Comic-Con exclusive set from 2015 that currently goes for around $1,000 sealed on Bricklink. This set is really cool, and I love how it accurately depicts the comic book cover. I don't know if this set would sell very well if it was a regular set, but I think it's a very good exclusive. It's easily one of the best display pieces, so if you wanted to buy all the parts for it at a much cheaper cost, you could do that and have an epic build. None of the parts are exclusive, and the Superman's just the standard Superman, but that's all I really have to say about that. Next set is also the most recent one on the list, that being the Superman Mech released earlier this year. I think this set is really amazing. You get a brand new Superman that looks both great and is an upgrade version of the classic Superman minifigure we have been getting for years. The Lex Luthor figure is also amazing, and I don't know why, but this is easily my favorite design for Lex's armor. The Mech is pretty cool, and I love the idea that Superman has to use it because Lex has weakened him with the kryptonite gun. I always like when there's a reason that a powerful character has a mech. Here it is because Superman can't use his power due to kryptonite. That's why I think the mechs for Thor, Hulk, or Thanos just make no sense. Looking back at the mech, it's a fun build, and I love the Superman logo on the front. Would I have preferred a Lex Luthor mech? Yeah, that would have made more sense, but I still think this is a fun and cool set to release. For the number 7 spot, I have the Superman and Krypto team-up set. This came from one of the last non-Batman DC waves in 2018. All three of the sets were cool, that being the Reverse Flash vs. Flash and Cyborg Helicopter, this set, and the Lex Luthor mech. All these sets were really cool because they offered brand new characters or updated designs. This set in particular gave us Superman with an updated hairpiece, as well as a first ever Lobo and Krypto. Both builds are really cool. I absolutely love how they managed to capture the look of the bike, and the kryptonite cage is a nice addition even if it's not that interesting. Just barely missing our top 5, I have the Man of Steel Battle of Smallville. This is a really cool and a unique set. I love the design of the Kryptonian ship, and Zod and his followers look great in that armor. Even cooler is the inclusion of both a modern military vehicle and a modern military soldier in the form of Colonel Harding. This is an interesting choice, as LEGO has a very strict policy on no military sets. But despite that, I think this set looks amazing, and honestly, I don't think it gets talked about enough. If you want more of my thoughts on this video, I do have a review out, so maybe you should go check it out after this video. At number 5, we have a set that many would probably think deserved to be a lot lower on this set, that being the Flying Fox Airlift Attack from 2017's Justice League film. Now, I know the theatrical version of the film was honestly a bit of a dumpster fire, as well as the making of it. I'm aware of why Snyder needed to step down, but Joss Whedon being brought in ruined the film. There were trying to merge two different types of superhero films, but it didn't work. But anyways, back to the set. I think it's really cool and offers a lot of great minifigures. I mean, look at those extremely detailed Batman and Cyborg figs. The buildable Steppenwolf is pretty lacking, and I feel like his legs aren't tall enough for his body. The main build is cool, but it feels sort of incomplete because there are no doors for the lower section, and so when you don't have the Batmobile in there, which is great by the way, you can see right through it, and it feels like it isn't worth it. But all in all, it's a really cool set with great figs, even if, in my opinion, it's from one of the worst superhero movies of all time. Next, we have the highest ranked DCEU set in the form of the Batman vs Superman Batwing. This set is awesome for a number of reasons. For starters, the minifigures. While few of them are exclusive, they're actually great and accurately represent what we see in the film. I especially like the DC Trinity. And then let's talk about the builds. The Batwing is one of the coolest designs I have ever seen, and this set does an amazing job capturing it. I love the feature where you can fold up both wings with a knob on the back, and the rotating stud shooter cannon in the front is just the cherry on top. The LexCorp helicopter, however, is not as good. I do like the inclusion to make it feel like you're getting your money's worth, but the helicopter has nothing going for it and is pretty boring. At number 3, we have one of my first ever DC sets, that being the original Lex Luthor Mech. I know for today's standard this set is pretty basic, but this is a legendary set. All 3 minifigures were brand new, and the Superman and Wonder Woman were amazing figs to get in a set that was just $20. The mech is pretty cool, and I especially love the laser cannon with the tube connecting to the back. Surprisingly, just like a lot of the sets from this age of DC, it's not gone up a ton of in value. On Bricklink, you can still find this set sealed for under $40. This next set, however, has skyrocketed in value. The Brainiac Attack was released in 2015 for just $25. Looking at Bricklink, there's only one sealed copy and it's going for over $200. The set is really cool and the minifigures are great. You get Supergirl and, in my opinion, the best version of Martian Manhunter we've ever gotten, both of which are now valued in the upwards of $20. The Brainiac fig is also cool, and the Superman is always a great inclusion. The build is also really impressive as it's a scaled down version of Brainiac's ship. This set is one that I really wish I had managed to pick up, and all that mixed together, plus the great figs and excellent detail for just $25 is amazing. But at the end of the day, one set has to stand above the rest, and if you've been keeping track, you will know what set's going to take first place. It is none other than set 76028, Darkseid's Invasion, otherwise referred to as the Javelin set. And wow, I have to say this is easily the best DC set that isn't Batman, and is without a shadow of a doubt in my mind the best Superman Lego set. First, let's talk about the minifigures. The only one that is reuse is Superman, but like I've said before, this fig is still killer and fits right into the theme of this set. You also get our first ever Cyborg. The piece they created for his head is perfect and might be one of my favorite headgear pieces from DC ever. We also get our first Green Arrow that wasn't from Comic-Con, and again they knocked it out of the park. I love the head and torso, and I think the hood piece that is on the back is also great. Both these figures would additionally appear in Dimensions expansion packs, and if that wasn't good enough, we also got the only ever version of Hawkman. They did a really great job with this one. I love how they captured the elements of his design. I also really love that he has 2 pairs of wings, one that is folded for when he's just standing around, and another stretched out for when he takes flight. And let's not forget the best fig of all, the big fig, Darkseid. This is the only version we have ever gotten, and it does not disappoint. I love the red eyes, the detailed face, and his blue and black costume. Looking at this set, it is very cool. You get a small side build for Darkseid that isn't overly interesting, but it does have one of those ball shooters, which is always a fun play feature. The Javelin itself is a really fun build. The interior is packed with detail and has a fun feature to launch Superman out of the ship, and you can fire missiles underneath. All in all, it's an amazing set, one of my all-time favorites for this theme. Once again, if you want more details about the set, I do have a review that I posted last year, so if you want to see more, go check that out. With that, we have reached the end of our ranking. Let me know in the comments if you have a different ranking, and leave a like if you want me to keep doing more rankings. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.